Watch out everyone, there is some trouble on Tatooine. This is the new LEGO 2021 kit, the number 75299, with just under 300 pieces, 276, and it includes 3 minifigures, including the much sought after The Child minifig, Baby Yoda, Grogu, whatever you want to call it. And what makes this kit really unique is there are actually 3 distinct builds. There's the Tuscan Raider hut, this ballista crossbow type of weapon, as well as the speeder bike. So for less than $30, this is a pretty awesome kit to pick up. Now, putting this thing together, it was about a 45-minute build. It came in 3 different bags, one for each of those different parts. So one for the speeder bike, one for the Tuscan Raider hut, and then one for the ballista crossbow there at the end. Now, what makes this set really cool, other than the fact that it's got different builds, it's got the Child, it's got the Mando, it also is from the new season of The Mandalorian, which I think is even more neat because it's a brand new season of the show, just finished airing, and you have all those references to the show in this set. So let's take a closer look at the 3 minifigs that come with this set. First, we have the Tuscan Raider. So you have full color body there. You have printing on the front and the back of his shirt. The head is a molded plastic that is painted there. A lot of really nice details. And of course, he's got his staff, his weapon that he's holding. If we look at the Mandalorian himself, Mando has a smaller cape that usually is on like one shoulder there. He has a helmet on. And what's neat is there's actually no face underneath that because you remember from the show, he doesn't show his face. So LEGO found it important not to actually have his face on the minifigure itself, so you can't reveal his face when you're playing with the set. It comes with 2 different weapons, both the pistol as well as the long gun there, so you have 2 different weapons that come with him, and just some really nice detail work. I really love the silver accent all along his body, including down his arms to represent that armor that he is wearing at all times within the show. So some great detail work again there on the Mandalorian. Finally, looking at probably what a lot of people are going to buy the set for, the Child, Baby Yoda, Grogu. He's about as adorable as he could be. He is an extra small minifigure just due to his tiny diminutive size. He fits perfectly in the pouch on the speeder bike that we'll look at in a minute. And what's neat that's different about him is he actually has a molded head out of rubbery silicone type material versus the plastic like we see with the Tuscan Raider. His whole head is very soft and squishy, so it's kind of neat because he's just even more adorable with a soft squishy head versus a hard plastic one. So really nice details. You can even see that little white dot on his eyes. Some cool stuff with all 3 of the minifigures included. As I mentioned, this set hails from the 2nd season of The Mandalorian, which is airing on Disney+. So you're going to see a lot of references to that episode here in all the different components of the build. Again, you get those 3 different parts, including the Tuscan Raider hut, and it's really cool how it is able to expand open. So there's the fire pit there in the center. You can even attach minifigures around that sand area so they can actually stand up. The house itself will open and close there so it can turn into a hut or it can open up for some advanced playtime. You can see there's different chairs in there so you can make it for additional seating for additional characters, and they have a little cup, a pot with some bones that the Raiders can be cooking over the fire. You can see the outside and one more shot of the inside of the Tuscan Raider hut. So if you've seen Season 2 of The Mandalorian, you will recognize this weapon possibly from this episode. Basically, the Tuscan Raiders are using this to fight this giant creature that is living in a cave, and the Mandalorian is assisting with that. And of course, all sorts of things happen, but it's a really cool representation of that weapon. LEGO calls it a missile shooting ballista, but it's kind of like a giant version of a crossbow. So there's those pieces of wood across the front and ropes that it connects to the back, and they pull these levers to tighten it up. They pull it till the ropes are nice and taut, putting a lot of tension on the missile that is loaded in the front. Then they pull that trigger in the back, launching everything forward with a rope on it or anything like that. So that's what those wheels are in the front. That's actually where the rope line connects and kind of connects to the missile that is shooting forward. So really neat effect, and of course it is LEGO, so they can fire. There are 3, I believe, missiles included in the box. They are great to mimic the spears that we see in the show. Actually, there might only be 2 that are included in the box, but they do shoot very far if you're kind of throwing this around. But you slide them in, tap them, and then they'll just protrude forward, launching out of the sky, easy enough to take down an enemy in your or your child's playtime. So following the missile shooting ballista and the Tuscan Raider hut, we get Mando's speeder bike. Another perfectly awesome tiny build, and of course it goes perfect with Mando and the Child. Both those guys can ride this at the same time. So little details on here. There's the vents, there's the grills. The front of this is able to move up and down just like the speeder bikes in the movie or the TV show. So once he is on there, he can grip these two little handles, though it's a little bit tight, a little bit weird, and you probably should take off his weapons before you try to seat Mando in this guy. There's all these little connections there on the side. There's little spots where you can attach his weapons, the handgun, and the long gun there. And on the back, you can see we have one little cradle, little holster for the child, Grogu, to hang out, and then there is a pack on the other side. The child just slides right in. He holds in there pretty secured, actually a little bit tight, so taking him out, his head came off a few times, but it is very nicely seated in there, so he's not going to come out inadvertently. And of course the pack on the other side, and Mando can sit right there in the center. His cape just slides to the side, easily out of the way, and boom, he is in there driving his speeder bike around. LEGO has already had some seriously cool 2021 sets released, and many of them being Star Wars kits. We saw Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, we saw the TIE Fighter, and this is just one of my favorite little sets. I mean, under $30, you're getting 3 parts, you're getting Mando, you're getting the child. Even the Tuscan Raider is a really cool minifigure to have. So overall, I just cannot recommend this set enough. If you're looking for a good value, a good amount of uniqueness in one of the new LEGO sets, if you guys want to grab this, they're selling out quick, but you can find the links down below in the description, and let me know what you think over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU.